Bonjour and welcome to Poppy Cook's Potato Masterclass. I'm making this up as I go along. I am Poppy Cooks and I am the potato queen off of the internet, and I'm going to show you how to make a delicious French dish called a tartiflette. That's hence the bonjour at the beginning of the episode. What's this called at the beginning of the video? I'm just going to crack on because I honestly, the intros, terrible. Hate doing them, can't do them. I'm rubbish. Let me know what should I be saying. I don't understand what I need to say. Anyway, tartiflette. This dish is a beautiful, and I've got to say it is probably one of the most heart attack inducing potato dishes there is. It's unbelievably good. We've got potato, we've got bacon, we've got cream, we've got garlic, we've got cheese and onion and salt. Like, it's everything good in this world combined into a dish, cheese lathered on top of it and then baked. If you're looking to really energize your arteries, this is the dish for you. So to start off with, I'm gonna chop up an onion into cubes, or little squares. So, that's a tough onion. So when it comes to onions, you obviously want to make sure you remove the kind of brown skin or the white skin or the red skin, whichever kind of, this very papery part. And there's normally about 2 or 3 layers of that. But then, this is quite a good example. You can see here, this onion, half of it is like a nice normal onion kind of layer, but the other half isn't. So that's got to go as well, the whole lot. And then a lot of people do one more layer. Like a usual thing is, my nan used to say, once you've peeled it, peel one more layer. But I can see that this isn't very tough at all, actually. This is still nice and crisp. It like rips easily. So once you get to that kind of crispy bit, then you're good to go, because this bit is tough as old boots. It's like actual paper, not very nice. And it's not very nice to chew on. It doesn't cook down very well. Do some chopping through the onion, just lengthways, not all the way through. We're not touching the root, we're just going about a finger width away. And then do the same sort of size or thickness this way as well. So you get these kind of evenish squares of onion. This little rooty bit, we don't want to chop through because that's where you're going to get that hit of fumes and make you cry. And that can be used again. You can use that for a stock, to flavour cream, whatever you want to do with it. A little bit of garlic. I'm going to give myself a hernia doing that. Now, I like quite a lot of garlic in my tartiflette. I think it's about half a bulb of garlic. This one's quite a large bulb. So bulb is that whole thing that we had previously, and then these are cloves, just for clarification. Because if a recipe says like 1 bulb, it's that. If a recipe says a clove, it's that. Just clarify things for you. I believe you know what that is, but just in case. So I'm gonna do around 4 or 5 cloves. I'm just gonna get that minced down, or sliced if you can't be bothered. It's all getting cooked in cream and wine and stock and deliciousness. I love the French. I love the French. Their cooking is just, it's so decadent and so rich and just oozing with aromats and flavours and mirepoix. I don't really know any French. I can say, what's that song? I was going to say, voulez-vous, aha. But it's not, that's not the song I was thinking of. I was thinking of, oui means yes and no means no. Say bonjour when you mean hello. Don't say please, say s'il vous plaît. Merci means thank you, and that's what they say. I used to do that a lot at school. And I could do, bonjour, je m'appelle Poppy. Qu'est-ce qu'il y a? Comment t'appelles-tu? Comme ci, comme ça? You know what, I'm going to do them as nice slices. I fancy sliced garlic today. It's a lot of garlic, but it's delicious. So when you're doing a tartiflette, we're going to use a waxier kind of potato. So ideally a Charlotte potato, again, a lovely French little potato, or you can use a new potato. but the Charlottes are the perfect one. They're the ones that are very specific to the dish, but if you can't get hold of it in the UK, they're not quite as readily available. Also, they're quite seasonal. So we're using a new potato, and we're just gonna cut them into rough cubes. It doesn't have to be exact. I mean the cubes, I've cut them into chunks. If you were doing this in your very posh French restaurant, you'd probably end up like actually trimming them into squares and then cutting cubes, but we're not. We're cooking at home. So we're doing mise en place. I'm gonna cut them into similar size quarters or thirds, not thirds, sixths. So the reason you would use a waxier potato, such as a Charlotte potato, is because they're going to hold their texture a little bit more. They can kind of keep all of their minerals, proteins, the structure, that's the word. They can keep the structure a little bit tighter and a bit more together. Lovely. Now we've got everything to start cooking the whole dish. Okay, so we're going to start off with a little bit of bacon. So we've got some bacon lardons into a pan. Let them get caramelised, let the fat come out, and that's going to be part of the flavour of this whole dish. So when that is lovely and crispy and golden, just kind of bring the fat towards you almost, make a little pool. I want to keep that in the pan so that we can cook the potatoes and the onions in it. And then, there's probably a much better way of doing this, slotted spoon. I'm just making my life very difficult. But look how crispy and golden. I love, oh, the look of a crispy bit of bacon is just something that dreams are made of. And this is what dreams are made of. Hey now, I used to love Hilary Duff. Hey now, even though I never had Disney. Anyway, another tangent that doesn't need to be spoken about, but I was not a Disney kid at all. But I used to go to my friend's house who had Sky so I could watch Disney. Literally the only reason I was friends with her, and still am friends with her. There you go, Martha. That's why we're truly friends, not because we actually like each other. We do. Anyway, now we've got that lovely bit of fat in the pan. I'm gonna turn it up slightly, so it's like a medium-y high heat. And our onions and potatoes are gonna now cook into here. So let's get some onions in. Probably definitely could have chopped them a little bit nicer. And our potatoes. Get them coated in the fat, and then we'll just season them up slightly. If it feels like you need a little bit more glossiness, a little bit more fat, then you can just add a little bit of neutrally kind of olive oil or a little bit of vegetable oil or whatever it is that you like to use, something that has like a very neutral flavour. Just a smidge, just to help that heat get through to the potatoes and the onion. And we're looking for not a lot of colour, but a tiny little bit of caramelisation. Not much, we don't need a lot of it. So it's going to take around, on a medium heat, probably around 10 minutes or so. And just giving it a little toss occasionally so that we get that little bit of contact, so we get a little bit of caramelisation, but not completely golden all over, just a touch. Oh, I've lost my onion. There you go, back in there, love. I've got my garlic, I've got my bacon bits, and then you can see there's a little bit of caramelisation, not too much, bit of colour on the onions and the potatoes in the pan. So then everything else just goes back in. And it's an extortionate amount of garlic, but it makes it delicious. I'll say the classic thing, the dad joke, no vampires will be coming to you after you've eaten this, you stink like garlic. But you do, and it's worth it, because who wouldn't want to smell like garlic? It literally sells houses. Don't they now, like, instead of bread and cookies, you just sweat off onions and garlic and you sell your house? Don't hold me to that. I don't actually know if that would work. It would work for me. I don't know if everybody else would be that interested. Make this. Make this. This will sell your house. I've now become an estate agent. Once that's all mixed in together, this is where we get to add the nice little juicy bits. So, you can put wine in it. It's completely up to you. I'm going to put a little bit of wine in. So I've got a little bit of white wine. You don't have to. You can just use chicken stock, but I just feel like white wine is needed today. We're in the middle of summer. We're making a very, very wintry, deep dish, so wine feels like quite right. Just a little bit, just a tiny bit of wine. And then I've got some chicken stock. Literally just covering, so a few of the little tips of potato will still poke out. Now, if there's any left, just keep that to the side. And what we're going to do is now we're going to reduce that liquid into the potatoes, let it cook. And if you need any more liquid as it goes through, because we want them to be nice and soft, we can just keep that on the side and just top it up if we need to. And we leave that on a medium heat. It's going to reduce until there's more potato coming out. You want to reduce it by about 1 centimetre. As you can see, the liquid has reduced, so the potatoes are beautifully cooked. Honestly, they're very soft. You can feel that they're soft when you put a knife into them. They feel like a soft potato. And the liquid is under halfway now. So I'm going to add some cream in because it just needs a little bit more, you know, a little bit more decadently. It's not a word, is it? It just needs a bit more. So it's about 200 mils of double cream until it covers the potatoes again, basically. Give it a little mix and then leave that again to reduce down until the potatoes are showing again and you get that lovely, thick, creamy texture from the cream. This dish is found quite regularly in like the French Alps as well because it's thick and hearty and hot. So when you're skiing, this is nice when you come down to your chalet like that and have a tartiflette. But I've never been skiing, so I don't really know what that's like, but I'd love to go. I'd love to go skiing. I think I'd break my leg because I think that I'm like a daredevil. I think that I can do everything really well. So I'd be like, yeah, I got this big slope. I'd go tumbling. Or I'd just start an avalanche. But yeah, I would absolutely love to go skiing. Although I'd be quite scared. I also don't like the cold that much. I get very, very icy fingers. I've got that thing, you know, when your fingers go like white. I get that. And my toes. And also I've got like finger toes. I've got tingers. So like they go icicle white. If anyone wants to see my tingers, let me know in the comments. And that's a toe finger. A toe finger. A finger toe. Tinger. I once actually, talking to tingers, I was out once and I had some shoes on that obviously show your toes, like open toe shoe. And a girl literally turned to her friend, pointed at my toes and went, oh my God, look at her toes. Because of how long, and they were like cliff hanging. They were like clawing onto the edge of my shoe. And me and my friend both saw them do it and we were crying with laughter after. It was the funniest thing. My tingers. Anyway, how did I go from French Alps to tingers? I don't know. Who knows? But yeah, that's why I would be good at skiing. Because I've got large feet, big toes, good, you know, surface area, like an elephant for balancing. You know, the bigger the foot, the better the balance. To finish off your decadent, rich, creamy, bacony, winey, potatoey potatoes, we're gonna finish with some cheese, of course. So traditionally you would use reblochon, which is a French cheese. It's a little bit like brie. It's nuttier, it's a little bit creamier and a little bit softer. But if you can't get it, I have seen now recently that some supermarkets are starting to sell it, but we're just gonna use a brie because it's easier to get, it's a bit cheaper, and everyone knows what brie's like. So amazingly, for this small pan, we're using the whole, what's this, slither of brie. So I'm gonna actually do it in the paper so I don't make the board too messy. And I'm just gonna cut long, lovely slices. Now the reblochon is round, so you can just cut that however else it will fit onto it, similar sort of slices. And we're gonna completely cover the pan with cheese. So naughty. Here we have our beautiful, reduced, thick, creamy, garlicky, oniony, bacony, potatoey, everythingy, delicious dish. And you can see the potatoes haven't completely crumbled, and that's why you're using those Charlotte potatoes, those new potatoes that can keep their shape slightly. Now, I should have said this at the beginning of the recipe, but when you're making this dish, it's best to use a pan that either the handle comes off, I've got those sort of pans, or one with a metal handle that you can fit under the grill. Nothing with a plastic handle because it will melt. And then I'm gonna just randomly kind of layer cheese onto it. I can go here, you can move up there, that can go there. And then this is gonna go under the grill until the cheese is bubbly and golden and just caramelized to perfection. It's beautiful. So once you've got it all grilled, you'll get that lovely kind of caramelization onto the cheese. And because the grill's going to be so hot, you do sometimes get a little bit of a split with the cream. So there is a little bit of like almost butter that's come out, but that's just the nature of it, unfortunately, because you get that grill super hot to get the cheese covered. If you actually cover every single centimetre of the pan with cheese, you won't get that problem. So, I mean, if you really want to go for it, then go for it. But this is it. Gorgeous, decadent, crunchy, kind of caramelized, cheesy topping, and then this gorgeous, thick, creamy potato underneath. I just want to eat it. I just want to eat it, so we need to get some sexy shots of it. Now, with this dish, if you want to be real naughty, because, you know, this isn't naughty enough, you can actually serve it with crusty bread. Crusty bread, bit of butter, and then dip it in. But I'm just going to eat it straight from the pan. So you've got to get a little bit of that cheese, and you can see if I get into it, you've got this very rich and thick and creamy. It's going to be so hot. It's going to be so ferociously hot. Get off. I should have got a knife and fork. I've not done this very glamorously. Oh, when was I ever going to be glamorous? Anyway, cheers. Ah! Oh. Oh my God. That is filthy. It's filthy and hot. But if I've been doing exercise all day, down them slopes, that is exactly what I would want. But I haven't, and I still want it. I've just been in here cooking potatoes all day, but I love it. The cheese is super rich and like nutty, and then you get this nuttiness from the like the caramelization of the cream as well, and the potatoes are just soft, and then you get salty bacon, loads of garlic. In the words of Gainsbourg, je t'aime, oui, je t'aime. Oh, that's so hot. Oh. Like and subscribe for ferociously hot potatoes and delicious content. Au revoir. How do you say? Oh yeah, just au revoir. Goodbye. It's really hot and delicious.